on capacity and so no agreement with the EU, but
Good day, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. News, events, and stories abound in the state system. ATN's appetite for in-depth, unbiased, and factual reportage is the driving principle for this program in order to bring government activities to the doorstep of the people. And now, let's go through the highlights of today's reports. The education sector, UNILAG, postpones examinations till further notice. In Gombe State, we pay 70,000 naira minimum wage, says Yahaya. In FCT, Wike places economic value to road projects. In the National Assembly, reps wants NEMA's capacity enhanced. We'll go for a short break, and when we return, we go straight to the details. Please stay tuned.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls.
So no agreement with the EU, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls.
so no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back, and now we head into the details for today. Air strikes by the Nigerian air tanks in the past 3 months. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Abubakar, said this on Wednesday, July 31st, when he played host to the National Coordinator of Messrs. New Guard Security and Consulting Limited, Major General Jamil Saman, retired, at the NAF headquarters, Abuja. Speaking on the current state of oil production in Nigeria, Air Marshal Abubakar emphasized the severe negative impact of oil theft and pipeline vandalism on Nigeria's oil output, which he said have led to a decline in crude oil production and losses to the country. Air Marshal Abubakar said it was in response to this that President Bola Tinubu mandated the military to eradicate the scourge. He said that over the past year, the Nigerian Air Force has conducted 463 sorties 463 sorties in 560 flight hours and expended 175,000 liters of A1 fuel in air operations over the Niger Delta region. The Air Chief said in bolstering these efforts, the Nigerian Air Force have deployed newly acquired platforms to the region to enable the Nigerian Air Force to cover more grounds as it races with other security agencies in degrading the activities of these criminals in the region. He congratulated General Samhan and his team on their appointment, adding that the team's exceptional military background and their synergy with security agencies in addressing the challenges of crude oil theft would add bite to the ongoing efforts. Right here on Atlantic Television Network, we are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials, and you can connect with us and watch us on our ATN socials, also Facebook and YouTube Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok Atlantic TV Network 1, on X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, and watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Analysts have emphasized on the need for grassroots engagement as it concerns the distribution of palliatives across the country. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network's program, Atlantic Blowout, a socio-political analyst, Magnus Edor, stated that grassroots engagement is key for safety of distribution as it may.
I must say that it is good for all stakeholders to be involved. If all stakeholders are involved, that community where this incident happened, have they actually been given any palliative whatsoever before talking of other...
Meanwhile, Magnus Edor advised on proper planning and logistics.
Stakeholder is not very strong, for instance. The driver was saying that if not that the boot opened and some started dropping on the road, that means the vehicle was not roadworthy to start with. Because if it is a moving vehicle, I don't think the statement talked about blocking the road. No. And some palliative depends on the distance. They attach police officers.
You'll recall that hoodlums numbering over 100 have attacked a bus loaded with palliatives belonging to the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Cross River State Council. And on to other stories, Ebonyi State Governor Francis Nwifuru has urged the youths of the state to shun the planned nationwide hunger protest slated for August the 1st. Nwifuru made the call on Wednesday at the Stakeholders Youth Engagement Summit held at the Christian Ecumenical Center in Abakaliki. The governor said his administration is committed to creating an enabling environment that allows the youth to thrive. He explained that his administration recognizes the importance of youth development and is working tirelessly to provide opportunities for education, skills acquisition, and entrepreneurship. He said that I am aware of the planned protests against hunger and bad governance scheduled to take place across the country, including Ebonyi State. While I understand the reasons and concerns that have led to this call to action, I strongly urge you all to refrain from participating in this protest. Nwifuru informed the youths that most of the youth empowerment beneficiaries who got 2 million naira each are doing very well in their respective businesses, noting that another batch of our youths will soon get their money. Independent National Electoral Commission has promised journalists unimpeded access and enhanced security for voters and personnel in the Edo and Ondo governorship elections. INEC has scheduled the Edo State governorship elections for September 21st, 2024 and the Ondo State elections for November 16th, 2024. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu said this during INEC's quarterly consultative meeting with media executives on Wednesday in Abuja. He urged journalists to continue combating fake news ahead of the elections. Yakubu stated that political campaigns by parties and candidates are actively ongoing in both Edo and Ondo states. He expressed concern over a recent incident in Edo State that led to the death of a security personnel that noted that no further incidences have been reported since then. In his comments, the president promotes a transparent, accountable, democratic process that reflects the people's will. He also highlighted that the partnership between INEC and the media is essential as Nigerians approaches the off-season gubernatorial elections in Edo and Ondo states. Management of the University of Ibadan has announced that the certificates of the 2022 MBBS dentistry graduates are now ready for collection. The institution disclosed this in a statement signed by its registrar. The move became imperative as soon as the attention of the management was drawn to a viral online report about the institution bordering on issuance of certificates. The statement therefore noted that the management did not refuse to give the graduates of medicine and surgery and dentistry their certificates, but had technical issues in getting the certificates ready. According to it, concerted efforts have been made to redeem the situation, adding that the management has reached out to the licensing boards to speak in favor of the affected graduates. While it appreciated the licensing board and other stakeholders, the school assured the graduates of the institution that the University of Ibadan would never impede their progress. It, however, appreciated the cooperation of the licensing board and the concern of all stakeholders. And to Osun State, where the police commanders revealed that an armed robbery suspect, Olabode Owoeye, also known as Bode Abuja. The statement said that the Osun State Police Command is using this medium to update the members of the public, especially the good people of Osun State, that the arrested suspect, one Olabode Owoeye, aka Bode Itapa, has been charged to court at the Federal High Court Abuja on 5 counts charge. It will be recalled that Olabode Owoeye was one of the suspects arrested and paraded recently by the Osun State Police Command at Police Headquarters Oshobo for various offenses before the case was transferred to Abuja as requested and directed by the Inspector General of Police. Press reported that Owoeye was arrested and paraded by the police early in July 2024. Upon interrogation by the police, he had revealed that he was a political thug for the House of Representatives member for Ijesha South Federal Constituency, Sonia Omirin, who is a member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Meanwhile, CP Umar Abba has assured residents of the state that he is committed to ensuring their safety and security. He also assured the command was working tirelessly to apprehend. The University of Lagos, UNILAG, Akoka, has postponed all examinations scheduled to hold on Thursday, August the 1st, and Friday, August the 2nd, till further notice. The university is currently in the middle of the second semester examinations for the 2023-2024 academic section and postponed all papers scheduled for the 2 days indefinitely sequel to the planned nationwide protest scheduled to commence on Thursday. The planned peaceful protest was tagged "End Bad Governance" has become a subject of controversy in the last 1 month, putting Nigerians in fear of possible turning to violence. The university, in a statement on Wednesday by its spokesperson, Mrs. Adejoke Alaga Ibrahim, informed all the students of the exam postponement for the 2 days, adding that all the papers initially listed for the 2 days will be announced later. The school, which silence on the exam for other days, whether they will be held or not, as scheduled for now, explained further that it is imperative to stress that security is everybody's business. So all members of the university community are therefore enjoined to go about their legitimate business and not hesitate to report anything or anyone suspicious on campus to the security unit via the security unit at unilag.edu.ng and CSO at unilag.edu.ng. The university recognizes the right of citizens to lawful and peaceful assembly. However, members of the university community, particularly staff and students, are implored to remain civil, orderly, and responsible in their utterances and behavior, offline and online. The university noted that it is monitoring the situation and will ensure things are in order across the 3 campuses. For the Lagos State University LASU Ojo, the spokesperson for the institution, Mrs. Yemisi Thomas Onasile, said that the school's students are preparing for the election of new leaders ahead of the next academic section. But even at that, she pointed out that the university is monitoring the situation concerning the planned nationwide protests to ensure that outsiders who may want to use the protests as an excuse to attack the school for the purpose of vandalizing the school property would not have their way. She told press that the school security personnel are working collaboratively with the government security operatives to ensure the school community remains safe. Gombe State Governor Inua Yahaya said on Tuesday that his administration cannot pay the new minimum wage of 70,000 naira. Mr. Yahaya, who chairs the Northern Governors Forum, spoke at a meeting with labor leaders, civil society organizations, and traders association at the government house in Gombe ahead of the planned nationwide protest. He said Gombe State's limited allocation from the Federation account makes it impossible to implement the increased wage package. This is despite the fact that the federal allocation to Gombe and all other states have increased since President Bola Tinubu announced the renewal of petrol subsidies, the removal of petrol subsidies. He said even the previous minimum wage of 30,000 naira was a struggle for many state governments to implement, and the governor also said that Gombe State has yet to receive the promised 20 trucks of rice from the federal government intended to alleviate the suffering of its citizens. And Mr. Yahaya also said that the state received only 2 billion naira, contrary to the 5 billion naira palliative allegedly given to states by the federal government. The governor attributed last year's fuel subsidy removal, which exacerbated Nigerians' hardship, to a decision initiated by former President Muhammadu Buhari and announced by President Bola Tinubu. You are watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable
On the point of
They are not picking our calls. They made up their mind.
So no agreement with the EU, but
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe.
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable
On the point of
They are not picking our calls. They made up their mind.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. And now to the rest of our stories. Federal Capital Territory administrations have placed economic and security values on the 25-kilometer Yebu-Kwaita road, as well as the 11-kilometer Yangoji-Sukuku-Ebo road, both in the Kwali Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory. Speaking with newsmen during the inspections exercise, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Yesom Wike, said the pace and quality of work on the road project is commendable, stressing that the roads, when completed, will not only provide access to the farmlands in the rural areas, but will also improve transportation in remote parts of the FCT, thereby increasing agricultural produce.
Providing infrastructure in the city must also provide the same infrastructure. I see. Today, this is the second road where the city where the area council is concerned. Where we are standing now is 11-kilometer road. You can imagine the impact this road will have when it is completed in December this year. Where we are coming from now, you can see and you can tell the people are happy. That's the essence of the deed. That's why we are saying that people should be patient with the government. While the government is doing everything to reduce the level of hunger, government is also providing basic infrastructure that will improve the economy of our country. So we're happy. It's to tell some Nigerians who do not understand and who just have not had the opportunity to ask what is happening. If you come to FCT, you appreciate the fact that FCT is working.
Speaking on security, the minister said security is the duty of everybody in the community, while government provides logistics to help its actions, commending the local vigilante group who have dedicated themselves in the fight of insecurity.
Confronting the kidnappers and rescuing the 5 of these victims from Kuje area. I commend them and we have promised them they are going to give them all the necessary logistic support. Like for one open vehicle, which we are going to give them by grace of God today. And we are giving them some finances to see that they support themselves. That is what is required. And I thank them so much. And to the general population of the city, who will not rest on our hands, will continue to do the best to make sure they sleep with their eyes closed. That is our promise to them. Because security is one of the key areas of the development agenda. It cannot be completely eliminated in one day. It is a continuous process. So it's have hope in that we will succeed.
Analysts have decried disappointments concerning the conduct of politicians in the National Assembly. Speaking to Atlantic Television Network's program, Open Conversation, a political analyst, Lekon Jackson Ojo, expressed sympathy, stating that the attitude of members of the Executive Council may as well mar the president's reputation come 2027.
Because a lot of persons around him are trying to create political enmity for him, awaiting 2027. the Senate rule. That office was occupied.
Meanwhile, Mr. Churchill Wale advised on the need for proper resolution of issues within the APC.
But what I'm not talking about is that a member that was elected chief whip in the House was removed because of a letter written by his own party chairman. Not that he...
To the plight of populace or Nigerians, you know, it could be regarded as a segmented response. Why, for those who are not in that space into importing or exporting, as the case may be, it's a win-win for them. In the manufacturing industry, who also produces some of these imported items, because if you look at that story, implying certain consumable essentials, taxes are, you know, being reviewed, or a tax holiday has been given. That
in a bid to tackle the challenges of low learning achievements in basic education and improve the quality of the products, the federal government, under the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, has trained 56 master trainers with the team training of the master trainers organized for 56 master trainers drawn from the, he said. According to UBEC boss, the ESP is born out of the desire of the commission to make all schools meet the minimum standards for basic education schools and to also improve learning outcomes. Over the years, statistics have shown that the structures in many of our schools in the sector are dilapidated, overcrowded, and the capacity of the teachers needs to be enhanced. Schools are supposed to be child-friendly and the teachers in them up-to-date in skills and content knowledge. It's what exists, he said, stating that the overall goal of the ESP is to upgrade schools to a level conducive for effective teaching and learning. He also noted that through teacher low capacity and weak school governance, he hinted that UBEC has achieved ESP in 111 schools, noting that there are 3 per senatorial zone and 3 in FCT had been selected as pilots for the program. He charged the 56 master trainers that the commission is counting on your expertise to effectively deliver these roles. The training should make who will sustain the future and make other teachers proud of themselves. He called on states and FCT UBE boards, who are the owners of the school, and the teachers to join hands with the commission to ensure that the resources being deployed into this initiative are effectively managed for House of Representatives have expressed urgent concern over the increasing frequency and severity of natural disasters, pandemics, and other emergencies in Nigeria. They called for the need to significantly enhance NEMA's capacity to effectively manage those challenges. The facilities, according to the House, are to be deployed to major locations across the country to enable swift mobilization to disaster-prone areas. This initiative, led by Idris Wase, aims to ensure that Nigeria is better equipped to respond to emergencies, ultimately saving lives and mitigating the impact of disasters. Wasei noted that the recent incidents have revealed significant gaps in NEMA's emergency response capabilities, particularly in search and rescue operations and medical evacuation and disaster preparedness, to work closely with the Budget Office of the Federation to secure adequate funding for NEMA in the 2025 budget. House of Representatives Speaker Honorable Abbas Tajuddin has emphasized the importance of youth engagement in shaping Nigeria's future. Speaking during a town hall meeting with youth groups and organizations, Tajuddin reiterated his commitment to creating a better Nigeria for the younger generation. Tajuddin conveyed that the purpose of the town hall was not to intimidate or buy off the youth, but to establish a formal platform for ongoing dialogue. We are here to ensure that your voices are heard at the highest levels of government. Your voice matters, and we are listening, he stated. The speaker acknowledged the various concerns raised by the youth, including hunger, a reduction in the cost of living, an increase in and improved human capital development. These issues, he noted, converge on a powerful demand for an enhanced quality of life for all Nigerians. He urged the youth to engage constructively rather than resorting to violence. In most cases, protests do not solve problems. If they are hijacked by hoodlums, the essence of the protest will be lost. Be rebels with a cause, not anarchists, Tajuddin warned. In a gesture of commitment, Tajuddin announced that his office will for senior legislative aides to youth groups to bridge the gap between the House of Representatives and the young Nigerians. These conversations will be taken to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, along with the representatives of youth organizations, he assured. The speaker stressed that meaningful reform often requires time and consensus, especially for issues deeply embedded in statutory and constitutional frameworks. He called for a sustained step-by-step approach to addressing Nigeria's challenges and achieving collective aspirations. I urge all stakeholders to work together to build the Nigeria we all aspire to see, Tajuddin concluded. Meanwhile, the Northern Ethnic Youth Group Assembly, NEIGA, has begged Nigerians on the need to give President Bola Tinubu more time to implement his economic reforms. Instead of joining the protests, the group has urged Nigerian youths and student bodies to support the president's efforts. In a statement signed by NEIGA spokesperson Ibrahim Dan Musa, the group acknowledged that the current economic challenges were a legacy of former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Highlight of the event was the public presentation of 2 books authored by students of the school. One, anthology of poems, as well as the unveiling and launching of the students' magazine, The Face of Time. Also, various categories of awards were presented to students who distinguished themselves with outstanding academic performance during the 2023-2024 academic section. Some staff also received various categories of awards for hard work and diligence. Soho, Educational Corps Commander, who worked successes and avoid actions that could damage their reputation, school, or their parents. He further charged parents to make time to check on their children by surprising them occasionally to see who they are communicating with and the nature of those conversations. Failing to monitor them, he said, could lead to regrets in the future. Also, Major General Raymond Oche, in his part, warned the students against using command secondary school uniforms to post on social media as military officers, urging them to follow due process if they want to enlist in the military. He implored the graduating students to promote peace and harmony in the country, reminding them that the future of Nigeria lies in their hands as youths, and as such, they were obligated to contribute their quota to the development of the nation. Nigeria is the only country you have, he stressed. The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has promised to provide pro bono legal service for any peaceful protesters assaulted or intimidated during the nationwide hunger protest, which starts on Thursday. It also directed chairpersons in all 130 NBA branches across the country to monitor the protest. The NBA president, Mr. Yakubu